It's always a good idea when you've taken, like a year off from doing a show and you're going to get back into it, you're going to take it seriously. It's always a good idea to get back into it at 1 in the morning on a Monday night. Film it like that after you've drank a bottle of wine and had hashish. So today, as we do most days, we're going to talk about Tommy Dreamer. It drives me absolutely insane, the amount of things that I forget on a daily basis, important, pertinent things to my life that I completely lose track of and just slips my mind constantly. Yet, I know when Tommy Dreamer won the ECW Heavyweight Championship. Of course I do. So ECW's prime years were probably like 1995 to 2000, before they went out of business and got acquired by WWE. They were like the fringe outsider league, but they were good. They had good stuff, and one of their biggest names, one of the biggest stars in the company, who was a mainstay throughout their whole run, was this fellow Tommy Dreamer. Very run-of-the-mill average guy, but that's what was so endearing about him. People loved to root for this guy because he was like everyone else, And the interesting thing about Tommy Dreamer is, as much as he was a mainstay for years and a top guy in the company, he never won a championship. And there was something like beautifully poetic about this guy who was always fighting his hardest, and he just couldn't quite win. He was everyone rooting for him. He was the most over-popular guy, but he couldn't win the big one. And for 5 years, he just always came up short. Then we're at SummerSlam. It's the year 2000, and Tommy Dreamer has a title shot against Taz, who's one of the most storied champions in that company. He hits what are they called? A backflip? There's names for moves. It's a backflip. He hits a backflip on Taz. It's called a moonsault. Why do you gotta call it a moonsault, wrestling? We all know it as a backflip. Everyone knows a backflip. You go anywhere in the world, you talk to anyone of any race, color, ethnicity, age, sexual orientation, everyone knows a backflip. Why does wrestling have to fucking call it a moonsault? He gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. Tommy Dreamer's the fucking champ now. Holy crap. A bunch of people come out to celebrate him. He's a popular guy. He's beloved. It must be nice. They've got all these wrestlers in the ring. They've got his old arch nemesis Raven is there. Francine is there. Everyone's happy for him, except for Just Incredible. See what he did there with his name? You might know him as Aldo Montoya. You probably don't. Then he challenges Tommy Dreamer to a match. Right then and there, Tommy had just won the title for the first time after years of coming up short. He just won the title, and right away he gets challenged to a match by Just Incredible, who immediately beats him. And it's honestly fantastic storytelling. It's the equivalent of a Norm Macdonald joke that takes 4 minutes to build up for a really disappointing punchline, and that's the genius of it. For 5 years, Tommy Dreamer almost won the title, and thousands of people were rooting for him to win this title, and then he finally wins that title, and then he loses it 30 minutes later. And then never wins it again. That's a good joke. That's a good fucking joke. Because that takes you on such a journey. And there's such a ride to get to such an upsetting conclusion. That's good comedy, is what that is. Tommy Dreamer is a comedic genius.